here, we'll open up to questions.
So, Reese, this time last year, did you know that you were going to probably be playing this year with the junior college year, or were you kind of just preparing that last year might be your final season?
I had an idea over Christmas break. Sabes texted me. I was like, hey, there's a chance you will have another year. So I kind of knew about it, but wasn't 100% sure. And then as the season started to go on, I started to figure out, like, that's actually going to happen. So somewhere around opening day was when I kind of knew.
What's kind of your emotions now that you guys are getting ready to start? Kind of, you went off to South Carolina and have to escape the cold. Just kind of the excitement or the emotions towards getting ready?
Yeah, I'm super hyped. I really enjoy this team. It's a great group of guys. We've got a lot of new guys, but they mix very well with the returners. It's going to be super exciting for this year. Last season for me, it's kind of bittersweet, just knowing, like, I would have never thought 5 years ago that I'd be here right now. But this is a great season that's going to happen.
How important is it to your game to have the biometric facility, especially in a place as cold as Florida?
Oh, it's awesome. With the snow, like, we utilize that a lot. But even when there's no snow, with the Dr. Simkowitz and CR and Oni, they do a great job of pitching and mechanics and making sure we have the facility to utilize at all times. We can ask any questions we have. We can try to develop and understand something that we didn't know from just, like, looking at a video. Like, we can learn more from what we've ever had.
What's it about this program that lends itself to guys from smaller schools, especially pitchers, coming here and immediately finding success? And obviously the expectation is that guys like Korn are going to do that as well this year.
Yeah, absolutely. The guys who came from smaller schools, maybe they needed more time to develop, like myself. I feel like a lot of us got underlooked a little bit. We weren't the radar freaks who could, throw it through the roof. So we kind of had to just rely on pitchability, and then they did a really good job recruiting guys that knew how to play the game and knew how to pitch, and they bring them in, like guys like Chance and Cole, Dawson Montessa, Ian Korn, Josh Surgow, Bryson Thacker, like guys who, may have been underlooked or haven't played as much, and they bring them in and develop these guys. And that's been the story of, last season too with Griffin Kern, Jack Cartsonis. Like, that's how the Mountaineers operate. We just take what we have and we just run with it, and we build on what we got.
What has your message been to the incoming players, the new guys on the team, as someone who was in their shoes last season?
Yeah, you tell them every year. Someone tells them, like, hey, it's gonna fly by, and especially as one of the older guys, like, it truly does fly by. Like, it felt like I just played my first college game like a couple weeks ago, and so the new guys, they did a great job coming in, and they just took what they got from the returners, and they just decided they're just gonna learn. Everyone kind of learned what they did from their previous schools, but they came in, they're like, we're going to learn how the Mountaineers do it. We're going to do what they do, and we're going to make it happen. We've had success the last 2 years of super regional appearances, and so, they came in with no pride, and they just were like, okay, let's get to it.
New guys, returners, who stood up to you in the pitching staff?
I think Bryant Yoke has made a crazy improvement. Bryson Hoff, crazy improvement. David Hagan, he's feeling healthy, he's feeling strong. McDougal's coming back. Stifler's looking good. J.D. Costanzo didn't play at all last year with Tommy John recovery. He looks good. And then we have the new guys. Obviously, the 3 D2 guys who are absolutely killing it, just like they did last year. Josh Surgow didn't throw much last year at Hawaii. He comes in, he's throwing a bunch of strikes. Same with Bryson Thacker at Tennessee. I think the whole staff, we just have a lot of depth that guys just come in here, want to work, and just throw a bunch of strikes.
You've had a lot of different stints as a reliever. You've been 1 inning, 2 inning batter guy. You've gone as many, I think, as 6 or maybe 7.
Mm-hmm.
Any difference in mindset in you preparing for that, and do you expect that again this year to have that wide-ranging role?
I was kind of told, like, it can be whatever. The Mountaineers need to win, and I really like winning. Last year was pretty fun, so I kind of don't prepare for it any differently. I kind of just, the way I see it is, I don't get to make the decision on how long I throw. So once I get the ball, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure Sabes doesn't walk out there and take it from me. But every role has its purpose and its significance. But I just kind of am prepared to just go in and try to finish the game every time. But every game's different. So I kind of just be ready to go at all times and see what happens.
And you mentioned that, like, in these games of the past couple of weeks and in the fall, sometimes you or other other pitchers might get left in a little more, even if you get touched a little bit, just to see how you react, work on fighting through adversity. Valuable for you?
Absolutely. I think the biggest thing about college baseball is experience, and I think that's why the transfer portal is so significant, is because you have so many guys that just lack experience. And so whether it was the D2 or D3 NAIA level, like when you get transfer portal guys, they have this experience. And so the biggest thing that we can do is play as many inter-squad games as possible, practice as much as possible, so these guys understand, like, giving up runs isn't something that ends your career. Like, it's going to happen. You're going to go out there and you're going to pitch great the next day. And so I've been lucky. I've had 4 years of plenty of home runs given up and plenty of games that I've pitched well. And so I think a lot of guys, they grow up, they learn experience. Like I said, Bryson Hoff, Bryant Yoke, they had a lot of experiences last year, good or bad, and they're learning from it. They had phenomenal falls. And so, like, those guys, like, they did what they did, and they said, you know what, I'm going to learn from this. I'm going to go play summer ball, and I'm just going to keep building on what I do. And so that's what they did. And so I think experience is very valuable.
So you mentioned how winning was fun. Obviously, you don't look back, but do you kind of use last season, that feeling, you use that as motivation, you want to get back there?
Absolutely. I think we were all pretty disappointed with the way we ended last year, even though we were, I think it was 44-16. Like, I think we were all a little disappointed with the way we ended it. I think a lot of the returners know exactly what it takes to get to where we need to be, and we've done a good job of holding the new guys up to a higher standard. And I think a lot of the new guys were recruited properly and very well because they came in ready to go. I think Matt Einich has to be probably one of the hardest workers I've ever seen. He shows up as a sophomore, and he's just like, you know what, I'm just going to do my thing. He's in the cage every day. There's plenty of guys like that, but the first one in my head, and he's in there all the time just working his tail off. And we didn't have to tell him to do that. This guy was recruited because he does that. And so I think the new guys want it just as bad as the returners, even though they don't know what it feels like yet, but they are on the same page as we are.
Reese, now that you've had a full year in this program, you have some of the amenities that you didn't have at previous stops. How is that, in what way has that kind of aided your development?
We have a lot of things here that could easily be used in the wrong way, and I think we do a really good job of making sure it's used properly. Chris Riley, Justin Owen, they do a great job of managing biomechanics and pitching and making sure we, ideally throw strikes, keeping the main thing. And it's been a complete game changer for me. My average velocity has gone up, which is a big deal in baseball nowadays, and we learn with TrackMan zones that I never had before, where exactly is the bottom of the zone versus what they're going to call, how often do they call this pitch in this count. There's a lot of things that go into, scouting reports that we didn't have before. In junior college, it was just, hopefully this guy doesn't hit a bunch of home runs today. We have no clue. So we were really good with scouting reports, and we do a great job positioning fielders. And the odds, I feel like the odds are always in my favor when I'm out on the mound, just because of the preparation we've done with the facilities or the scouting reports or the position players we have and the guys batting at the right time. I swear we put up 20 runs a game. So there's clearly there's not just a guess, there's some knowledge going into this, which is awesome.
Good. Thank you.
Sweet. Thank you.
Thank you.